Hi there, Leo. Welcome to an early August 2025 tarot update. It's Rena here. When I was thinking, I usually do two series of tarot readings on this channel. I have a second channel called Tarot Alchemy with Raina Moon, and all of the August love readings are up on that channel, so please check that out. But usually I would do something, I don't know, like almost close to the middle of the month, and then I would do an end of a month reading. So I decided that it would be probably better to do something earlier rather than closer to the middle of the month. It's just an idea that came to me. Sometimes I have done this in the past. So anyway, we'll see what's happening. We are in Leo season, so I shouldn't be surprised that the first card I get is something connected to fire energy. Oh gosh. Yep, two cards came out. Oh wow. You know what I just realized? I don't know. This deck is called the Flower Child Tarot. There's a lion. I'm going to have to see the original to see if there's a lion on that one. I kind of doubt it, but that's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, here's your card, the sun. Wow. Well, if you ever had to know. And during this early period, when I say early period, it sounds like kind of vague, and it kind of is because I'm not saying the middle of the month because I'll probably do another update before then, or like at the middle of the month. But in this, we could say within the first 10 days or so, there is the Lionsgate portal, and that is during Leo season. So there's your sun card. The heart of the matter is the Eight of Wands. So if you have felt that things were kind of like at a standstill, get ready for everything to suddenly pop. And this is going to be true. I'm assuming that most people are watching this for their sun sign versus their ascendant. And for Leo as a sun, that's what I'm talking about. So astrologically, that would be related to any, if you had Leo rising, that would be true too. But when you have the month before your solar return, or for your natal chart, when the sun, before the sun crosses over into your first house, you're going to have that in the 12th house, and that's going to create sometimes even physical depletion and or the feeling that you need to retreat, because that's what the 12th house is all about. And it makes sense because that's the end of one cycle, and it's kind of like preparing for a new cycle. So this is kind of like everything happening at once. But I also believe that this may have something to do with the Mercury retrograde that we're currently under in the sign of Leo. And it is going to, Mercury will go direct on the 11th of the month. So again, that's before the middle of the month and kind of the period that I'm focusing on. And so you may find that if something has stalled out, that it just gets back into the groove, and maybe even with added momentum, because this is a card I feel like that there is momentum connected to it. In the past position, we have the Five of Cups, and this is a card of mourning the loss of something. So let's say that you lost a job, then you may be fielding a lot of offers all of a sudden. This is a card of mourning, but it doesn't mean just one particular area of life. Typically when people think of mourning, they think of somebody that they cared for. And of course, that could be the case too. If you had a breakup or somebody passed away and now you're ready to kind of, and you might not even like make an announcement to your family and friends that you are now um, emotionally ready to date after you got divorced 2 years ago, let's say, or a year ago. But inside of you, this may you might sense that there's a shift, and then it's reflected in the outer world. The higher message is the Nine of Pentacles, and this is a card of financial independence. And I would say anything that has to do with, like, even if it's emotionally related, it's really about, the spiritual lesson is about your emotional stability that is not reliant on someone else. It's like you can bring to yourself all of those qualities, and you don't need somebody else to be a part of that. And that doesn't mean that the person isn't going to be open to new love. It just means that they're not going to be dependent on other people to be the one to make them stable. That's where codependency comes in, because a person oftentimes is feeling like they have to do certain things or else their environment will not feel stable to them. But it's kind of like being able to count on yourself no matter what, and that can attract a healthier relationship too. Or even like like if it's related to work, a person, let's say a person gets fired, but they have an ample savings. They might say to themselves, I'm not going to settle for less when I look for work, or when if somebody is fielding an offer to me, I'm going to hold out for something that is the most acceptable to me. I'm not going to just jump at the first thing because I feel, desperation or anything like that. What crosses you is the Six of Swords, and this is a card of, the card, when you read it upright, would be, choosing peace and moving away from conflict. And when this is in the challenge position, you may be afraid of leaving something behind for whatever reason. Also, by the way, this could be physical relocation. So if there is some kind of a job offer that requires that you move, you might be resistant to it. And it might, so you, I'm telling you now, if this sounds like something that is relevant to your life, to prepare yourself for that so that you can, warm up to the idea of it, because it might be what is best in your best interest, but you might be like holding back because it's a change and you're a fixed sign and you just like things to be how you thought they were. Now I'm going to talk about these two cards together because I picked them together. So the Two of Cups is a card of reuniting with someone. And so this could definitely be not just with romantic situations. It could be like maybe going back to an old company that you used to work for. They reach out to you. During Mercury retrograde, you may hear back from somebody from your past. So that could include anything related to work, former bosses, things like that. It's also a card of commitment. So if you have been reluctant to make a commitment, you may do so at this time, or you're at least thinking about it. It's going to happen in the near future. So the other card that is coming up here for the energy coming in is the Three of Wands, and this is a card of, see, the sailboats. This kind of represents something beyond your immediate scope. This is a card of expansion, and it can be like geographical expansion. So to me, it goes along with the Six of Swords, where you may decide you want more out of life. You don't just want the status quo or what you've already had. And I think with the Two of Cups, it's about making a commitment to that, not to, if you've been wavering, and understanding that this can be part of your soul's growth. It's not just a random whim that you have. It might be something that is really important for you to embrace so that you can experience growth in your life. The outcome is the Sun card. Not only is this your card, but it represents everything, good in life. It's a card of love. It's a card of success. It's a card of healing. It's a card of children. You will typically see a child. But for people that are trying to conceive children, it might be that. And the reason I say that is because in astrology, the sun rules your sign, Leo, and it rules the fifth house. And one of those aspects of the fifth house can be not, children in general, but conceiving children. Creativity, abundance, joy. And so one of the things I just want to point out is that we have the Eight of Wands and the Three of Wands. And those are fire energies too. So the fire element is all about expansion, growth. And it's also about sovereignty, or we could say like independence. So a person who isn't, dependent on outer things, outer people for making things happen. Like even with the Eight of Wands, you might have put something into motion that is now paying off for you. Oh, and another thing that we have to acknowledge astrologically is that we have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th of, so when I'm recording this, I guess today is the 3rd, so it would be 6 days from now. So just keep that in mind as well, that this is your opposite sign. So that could be about relationships too. And maybe with the Eight of Wands, this is ready for you. It's like the universe wants to provide this fresh influx of new opportunities, but you're refusing to move on. So that's something to consider too. All right, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like an astrological reading, a personal one, a tarot reading, or a combination thereof, you can check the link below for all of my different types of readings. Thanks for watching. Bye.